the complexity of the application, the need for some kind of a governing thinking body that could deal with the technology stack, in our case, the Symbol Technical Advisory Committee, where we went to the manufacturers and they gave us experts to deal with us on a regular basis, free, but we were always interfaced with operators, with grocery store operators. The complexity of putting this thing to work. It had to work on coupons. It had to work on meat. It had to work in the store. It had to work on magazines. Each one of these things presented problems of their own. And Tom Wilson was so strong in this area. He worked with the UPC committees to fence them off. People were constantly going and using the code in the wrong way, and trying to use it this way and that way, and not taking this item, not taking that one. When we had enough variations with the 10 different families that we could put together of the code, where it was possible to create systems within our overall system that married it, and it stayed with the same basis. But it was complex. It took thinking. And what we learned was you couldn't do the thinking as Tom Wilson or as Alan Haberman, with all our experience. You could only do it with committees, with people involved in that end of the business. Just to get the scales tied in took a tremendous amount of work. So those were our surprises. The surprise was, whenever we turned around, there was another problem facing us in how to keep the system whole and together. Yeah, we were also surprised by where some of the opposition came from in the process of putting our thing together, our final decision together. But that wasn't a real surprise. We had to know that was coming.
Where did it come from?
Oh, we had Safeway, in a way we had Jewel. Don Perkins and I were the only two Harvard Business School people in the industry at the time. Okay? And I was at war with him. Never wanted to be, never had to be, never had to talk to him. It worked its way out without it. At any rate, those were the kind of surprises I guess people would like to hear about, but they weren't. The real surprises were that we could do these things, that we could do it within the system, that what we had picked was flexible enough and embracing enough so that we could attack anything. And it also allowed us to say, you don't have to limit this thing to the grocery industry. It's applicable no matter where you go.